Oh, there we go. Mochi is falling down. Mochi is falling down. You're right. How is everyone doing today? Oh, it's my phone. I think there's something wrong with the devices today. Oh no, could you crop out the comments section because I can still see the comment section in the Zoom. Yeah. The sidebar, the white one. Ah, there we go. Okay. How is everyone doing? I see a bunch of people joining. Alright. Hey, why is it not working? Why is it still XX? I'm screen sharing it. What is going on today? Why is it so... It's so problematic today. Let me try again. No, let me try to refresh. It might work this time. See, it's working on the iPad, but it's not working on the other laptop at all. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Let me just adjust. Okay. Okay, I see a bunch of people joining. Welcome. Alright, so today what we will be working on is could we switch the places of the free lessons and the hostja? Could we switch the places? Oh. Yep. Alright. Because that is the format that we usually, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so over here, first things first, I do want to extend this question out to parents, okay? Especially those parents that are watching over here. Okay, I don't know how many parents are here though. Maybe you guys can do a show of hands, right? But the main thing over here is that I do want to ask is, at this moment of time, do parents know how many oral practices your child is doing in school? Especially PSLE parents, right? Okay, because this is quite an important stage where we are really at that moment where the exams are anytime, right? And we really need parents and students to be able to work together in this as well, right? And for students, consistency is so vital at this moment of time. Not just consistency, but also the quality of the practice they are doing, right? So after all, there is really no true benefit if, let's say, your child or the students are, practicing with something that is not in the syllabus or something that is inaccurate. All right. So now, hear me out before you leave. All right. This is something that an example I was bringing up to parents and students. Let's say you are consistently trying to improve your math results, but you are always using the wrong answer sheet when you're marking your papers. All right. That is, you're not going to get any improvement because you are following the wrong example, right? And that is the gist of it, right? So what we are offering you is something that we believe can drastically change the direction of your child's learning, and for a lot of students our curriculum has done so. All right, so this is something that we're offering now. Okay. Oh, what happened? My laptop. Oh my goodness. All right. So yes, all right. So right now, what we're offering is this PSLE oral model responses ebook, and it is now on sale. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to take a look at this. All right. Do let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, I'll be happy to answer them for you guys. All right. All right. So first things first. All right. For parents that are interested in this, I do want to highlight that this is not like any other model responses ebook, okay? Because in this case, the main issue that we see in a lot of different ebooks is that you don't actually have any area to practice. You are simply just reading material. Okay, and that is very problematic for students, especially those that are a bit weaker in like finer details, such as like maybe what do you call that? Gestures, emotions, or your teacher always tells parents that your child reads with a monotonic voice. All right, so you are not going to be able to improve with these other ebooks because they are simply just reading material. All right, with our ebook we have now added 10 karaoke style videos that supports students in learning to speak fluently and confidently during the exam. All right, so that is the main thing that we are working with. All right. Okay, something in my eye. Whew. Alright, so we'll be giving students 10 engaging oral response videos in karaoke style so that they are able to work on the finer details. So you have people like Royston, who is also going through this with you in the karaoke style videos, alright? And students will be able to really gain that confidence. That is the main goal for us, alright? And in this case, 18 plus free videos, alright? This is something that we're gonna put on top of that for the 2023 PSLE oral model responses. So in total, students will be getting 28 videos. All right. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions. All right. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, now really there is no better proof of effective teaching and education than student results, success stories, and testimonials. All right, now these are some of the results our students have obtained after our classes. I always tell students that it is so difficult for students to be getting that full marks, especially in the compo and the oral classes, because when it comes to this all right, when it comes to this what do you call that, oral and the composition, it is very very hard for students to be getting those full marks. All right, there are a lot of finer details, it is a lot more subjective. All right, it can easily become the teachers, it's easy for them to nitpick, especially if they are more strict. All right, but over here what we have achieved with our students is that our students have been getting full marks in these very very subjective aspects of English. So this is definitely not something to overlook. Okay, we are super proud of them, and we will continue to be super proud of them. All right. Oh, there is really something in my eye. All right, so yes, yeah, these are some of the results. Okay, we have Townham Primary School and the Alexandra Primary School. All right, but for students and parents who prefer some statistics, all right, I have also got you covered. Okay, so now Writers at Work is actually one of the top English tuition centers in Singapore. 90% of our PSLE cohort have since achieved AL 1 to 4, and 90% of our secondary school got 3 grades of improvement. Okay, so and as an established English tuition center since 2012, okay, we really do have all the resources that you might need for your child's improvement, or your child might need for their own improvement, right? So this is truly something that we are happy to share. Okay, yeah, right. So, and English is a communicative tool. It is not something that just ends with your exam. You finish your O levels, you finish your PSLE, and it's over. That's not how it works, right? PSLE and O level is just the start. English is a tool that impacts you for the rest of your life, all right? And the way you present yourself at every stage of life. So it is something that we understand and something that we are also passionate about. All right. Now, to give everyone a better understanding of what you will be purchasing in this ebook, I will be showing everyone some of the content as well as formats within our PSLE oral model responses ebook. All right. Okay. Now you guys can take a look. This is some of the an example of the kind of questions that will be you'll be tested on, or that you will receive within the ebook. Okay. So these are the kind of questions you'll be practicing with. Okay, I'll give you guys a few moments. You can think about your answer. Okay, so you can take a look. Okay, now the main thing over here is that it's not only about answering the questions that we're always telling students, it is also about making sure that you are answering of a certain format. Now, what we always tell our students is that when it comes to these kind of questions, you have to answer in a way that highlights all the keywords. All right, you have to answer in a way that actually just fits the question. No matter how good your points are, if they don't answer the question, then there's really no point, right? And often there are, even in the live stream, you can see that sometimes there are such issues with students, because you realize that students have very good points, but some of their answers, they don't always answer the question, and that is very problematic in its own. All right, so this is something that we are trying to help our students to improve in, is one of the main things. All right. Okay, now I also want to talk about a bit of the scoring system. It is something that has changed. Okay, from a 30 marks, 15% overall in 2024, we are now at 2025 with 40 marks, 20% overall. So we have that 5% jump. Okay, this 5%, it does count for something. Okay, and in 2024 we did posters, and now in 2025 we are doing photographs. All right, so there is that difference, and we do want to make sure that our students are, you know, well aware of that. Okay, so in this case, okay, I invite you guys all to take a look. Okay, it's always good to and important to have a good understanding of the rubrics, right? So yeah, we'll go through it more in depth within the ebook as well. So it is important that, you know, it is essentially your gamer's guide, right? It is your it's supposed to be comprehensive. It's supposed to cover everything you might ever need to understand the PSLE oral. All right. Okay, now over here we also have a special prize that we're offering right now. All right, the special prize is $44.90. All right, it is $5 off. Okay, you can use the coupon to stay 5. All right, so yeah, a lot of there are some students who came in and be like, oh, we didn't see the coupon. All right, this is the coupon for you. Please use it as my the gift from me to you. All right, so please make sure that you are aware of this. All right, okay. What's included? All right, please take a look at this with me. All right, now when it comes to this ebook, okay, we are going with the PSLE oral rubrics. So everything you need to know about it. PSLE oral vocab guide. So it's not just about what vocab to use, it's about when to use it. All right, and why you should use it. Okay, so these are all it is the ultimate guide essentially. Okay, a lot of teachers, they talk about vocab. We talk about what vocab to use. Okay, and that's all important, but where to use vocab is also very important. If you're using vocab way too much at very close intervals, your story is going to look very chunky, and not in a good way. Okay, your story is going to look it's a bit much. All right, and this is not what we want. All right, so the main thing over here is that we want to make sure students are not using too little or too much vocab, just enough, right? And specifically in areas where they can use vocab, all right? And we also provide students with the 2024 PSLE oral questions and suggested model answers. All right, so not only the kind of questions that come out at the time, but also how we would recommend students to answer these questions. And from reading all these practices to listening to the videos, students will slowly get the hang of what is required of them. There is really no better way to tell students what is needed of them than to directly show them, all right? And especially there are some students with different learning styles, all right? But generally speaking, I would say showing and telling the students directly what they need is definitely going to be one of the most effective ways, all right? And also we have the PEL method. You guys might have all heard of it, and yes, you should use that in the PSLE oral examination as well, all right? So we also talk about how to use it. We go into a bit more depth and within this ebook, okay? So we do really want to make sure that students are understanding this as well, right? Okay, so over here, we will also be providing students with the mock 2025 PSLE oral questions and suggested model responses. All right, now this one is super important. Like I mentioned before, there is a change in syllabus. There is that slight shift as well. So we do want to make sure that students are well aware of what they have to change, or how they should be practicing. All right, like I said before, there is really no value in consistent practice if you are following the wrong answer sheet, the wrong guidelines. There is, yeah, you're not going to get the improvement that you have been working towards in that way. So definitely with this 2025 PSLE oral questions and suggested model responses, you are essentially picking our brains, all right? I've told you guys that we as a sender, we have been here since 2012, all right? A lot of resources, a lot of history with this PSLE. We have seen the trends. We know what is more likely to come out and what is less likely to come out. So I would say ultimately the 2025, it is one of the most valuable parts of this ebook, because you're essentially picking our brains. All right, we have done a trend analysis. We are giving you the questions that are more likely to come out, and as well as the model answers. So you're essentially just you have a complete guide. You have an example to learn from. There is really nothing better than that. All right. Extra bonus. All right, we have an extra bonus as well. The 2023 PSLE oral questions and suggested model responses. All right, this is also it's a bit of an extra bonus from us to you. All right, so if you would like a bit more practice, all right, this is a good thing to have. All right, so you guys can also take the chance to see the rough format. And also do note that the price here, $49.90, is not the final price. It is the original price. So definitely do not worry. Okay, we have that code. I will go back to it later, so do stay with me if you're interested. All right, I will also be going through how to navigate to the ebook store from this TikTok live. Okay, so you guys can just give me a few more moments and we'll go through it together. All right. Okay, now what's included? You guys can take a look. This is the rough format. You guys can have a bit of an understanding. All right, so this is the 2025 syllabus, the new syllabus, and we also did 2024. It's always good to have a bit more practice. All right, so let's take a look at this together. All right, so we are showing you what the changes are. You see, we are also going through that in the 2025 one. You guys should be able to read this. I'll zoom in a bit for you guys. Right. Yeah, so you guys can actually see that there is some form of change, and we do want to go through that as well. We want to make sure that it is very comprehensive. Okay, why choose us? That is a very important question that I trust that a lot of parents are wondering. Yep. All right, so let's take a look at some parent testimonials. All right, we have had very positive parent testimonials, and we love our parent community. All right, you can see here from Felix Cole, we have this write-up. The teachers at WOW is extremely passionate and dedicated to improving the English standards of our child. To encourage my child into reading, the teacher brought along a few books of different genres to lend my child. We are happy that our child has found the right genre and gained interest in reading. Thank you, Miss Afika. All right, so a lot of positivity. All right, and we also have this from Mrs. Sita. You can see this is the first year that our P6 girl is attending the enrichment class at Writers. All right, very patient and experienced teachers. My girl has improved her writing in paper 2. All right, we also have more. Becky Lim. I highly recommend Writers at Work for those who need help with composition writing. My elder son scored from AL4 in P5 to AL2 for his PSLE results after joining for only 1 year. Okay, so a lot of positive reviews, and we also have one from Venus Huang. My kids have shown great improvements in their English language ever since they joined Writers at Work, and I'm glad that we have found Writers at Work. Right, so very, very positive. All right. Okay, our teachers. All right. Now, we often do these lesson preparation trainings to make sure that our teachers are always on, the latest updates. They always have the latest updates. They're always on the latest trends of teaching, all right? So that teachers understand how to incorporate curriculum frameworks with innovative teaching methods, all right? So now this training really does equip our teachers with the confidence they need to excel in the classroom. So you can be rest assured our teachers are always getting training. They always are updated with the latest syllabus, all right? Okay, now for those who are interested in our ebooks, okay, you can scan here, okay, to explore our ebooks, or you can just wait a bit and I will go through how to navigate from this TikTok live to our ebook store and back, all right, in case you just want to stay with us on the live, all right? So yes, and really there is no better time than the live to actually make these purchases, to actually do these explorations, because if you have any issues with payment or anything, we are right here to help you. You can just pop back into the chat and tell me what issues you have, and the moderator and I will be able to help you. All right, but otherwise, if we are not on live and you suddenly have certain issues with payment or anything, you can always WhatsApp us at 8404-9281. Okay, and we have a whole team here to help you. We are very, very happy to help. Okay, so you can let us know if if there's anything that we can help you with. All right. Okay, so right now I'm gonna come up to the front and I'm gonna show you guys how to navigate to the ebook store. All right, give me a second. Alright, so you guys can see that I am watching the live alongside you guys. You guys can see this over here. Okay, you guys can see it zooming, right? Alright, there we go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, see this, the profile over here? You're gonna click it. Oh, I clicked it accidentally. This is gonna pop out once you click it. And then you can click this profile again, it's the Writers at Work profile, and you should be able to see our entire TikTok page. Alright, so from updates, from the latest educational content, you can see all of them over here. So do let us know if you have any further questions. Alright, but for those who are interested in holiday programs, the latest updates, you can always drop us a follow, and then the latest updates will just roll in for you. Alright, so you can watch our lives over here, but what we're gonna do now is we're going to look at the Linktree link, alright, which is the link over here. You're gonna wanna click it, and they're gonna bring you to this Linktree page. Okay, essentially it's a collation of all the links that there are. Okay, over here, the third one is the ebook store. If you click it, okay, for me, I have to press and hold for some reason. Alright, press and hold, it should give you this. Alright, you can even take a look. You will be able to see all the ebooks that we have. You can scroll up and see which one's most popular. Alright, now the one that I was talking about is this, the PSLE oral model responses. Alright, so including of 10 videos. Alright, there's a whole lot that you can look at depending on what you're interested in. Alright, you can scroll through all of this and just really do that shopping. Alright, we have books available for O-level students, for PSLE students as well. Alright, so it depends what you need. Alright, I always advocate for targeted practice. Right, there is instead of just doing past papers over and over again, it's also important for students to focus a bit on what they are weak in. Right, So this is I'll go through that a bit in a bit more depth later. All right, but we have books in synthesis and transformation, grammar, and vocab. All right, so you can definitely take the chance to look as well. All right, when you're done, you can just click back into live, continue watching. All right. Hi, Nathan. Nathan is here. Hi. All right, I'm gonna move back to my seat. All right. How is everyone doing? One, 1 to 2 months of feelings. All right. Yeah. You got this. I believe in you guys. All right. I believe in you guys. You guys will do fine. All right. You guys are my students. We have been talking about the curriculum for so long. We have been doing so much practice. There is absolutely no way, unless you guys are slacking at home, that you guys are not gonna do well. All right. So yeah, Nathan, you'll be fine. All right. What is the topic that you feel like you're weakest in right now? Maybe we can talk about it more together. All right. So as I navigate to our, what do you call that? We're gonna do some questions to get together today for PSLE. All right. And you guys can let me know if you guys have any specific things that you guys want to talk about. And yeah, I'd be happy to discuss them with you. Okay. But yeah, while I am still working on this, you guys let me know. IDK. Oh, like fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Oh, like grammar close. There we go. Is it grammar close? I don't think there are there other fill in the blanks. It's grammar close, right? Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. For that one, no, is it? No, it's not. Moderator is no. Right. Yes. Oh, because I saw the PSLE oral question. All right. Yes, let's go through Compre Close then. For Compre Close, let me go to our Compre Close page. Now with Compre Close, I would definitely say that there are certain tips and tricks to getting better at it. Give me a second. I'll explain it in more detail. Okay, we can go through it as well. I think we went through it previously with you guys. Okay, but I also do want to highlight some tips to that you guys can use to practice at home. And I mean, we've all been through PSLE. It is not fun, but you have to do it. No. Okay. Let me see. Any more? Okay. Now, first things first with Compre Close. Let's do this one. The first things first about Compre Close is that when you're filling in the words, I always tell students to be very, very careful in a sense that you want to read 2 sentences in front and 2 sentences behind and put extra emphasis on the word before and after the blank. All right. Now, it might seem like a lot of work and you might think, oh, I don't think I have time for that. But once you have done enough practice, all right, it will get easier and easier to be quick with your answers. All right. Now, the main thing that I would tell students is to be careful with to be very careful with spelling as well, right? Spelling as well as tense, right? So these are things that you guys have to be careful with, right? So first things first, I would say practice. Practice is going to, no matter what subject you're doing, practice really does make perfect, all right? Adults are not just saying that, it is the truth, all right? With even with English, all right? And I would say one thing that would help a lot during practice, especially, is annotation, right? Even if you know what the answer is, annotate. Really annotate. Why is this the answer? And because students might be like, why? If I know the answer, why would I annotate? Annotation helps to build a train of thought. It helps you to really build, that train of thought, like when you go into the exam, why is this answer, what's the answer, how should I think about it, how should I approach the question. These are things that can be trained, all right? So I would definitely recommend students to do targeted practice, a lot of targeted practice in areas that you're weak in. All right, Nathan, I hope that was helpful. All right, okay, let's start with this. Okay, let's take a look. Where am I? That is so weird. Where are my answers? Alright, you guys can start filling in the questions as I pull out my notes. Give me a sec. Okay, please let me know if you guys have any answers. Definitely trying on the live is also practice as well, so you guys can take the chance to really key in that practice, load in that practice. Where did my notes go? Barely. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, while you guys, okay, Nathan, you can start looking at the second question as well. Okay, my laptop is getting tired faster than I thought it would. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, now first things first. Let's read. My fondest childhood memories were of growing up in the 1970s. We lived in a crowded flat which I shared with my grandparents, parents, uncle, and younger brother. There was blank any space for me and my brother to run or play. Okay, so first things first, we're talking about, okay, unfortunately, we've come pretty close. There is a bit of logic inside. That is where I struggled in primary school, all right? But definitely, this is something, and from personal experience, I can tell you this is something that can be combated with a lot of practice, all right? You start understanding the logic in, what do you call that? Of the questions. Crowded, yes, that is the key, okay? Crowded flat. Okay, crowded flat. So if we're talking about any space, we're gonna think about a small amount of space. There was small any space. What word can be followed by any? Okay, so I see the word barely from Nathan. Barely is correct. Barely any space. That is a great answer. Okay, barely any space for me and my brother to run or play. Okay, Next answer, Nathan says despite. All right, my brother and I had a happy childhood. Despite my brother and I had a happy childhood. That does not really follow the sentence structure, unfortunately. All right, so despite might not be the best option. Okay, so over here, a happy childhood. So if there was barely any space, we're gonna think that it's gonna be an upsetting childhood. Uh, a bad. I'll just put bad childhood. All right. But since we're talking about a happy childhood, we're talking about some form of contrast between this and this, right? So if there is going to be a form of contrast, what we are looking at is a word that has a sense of contradiction. All right. And in this case, we can use the word however. Okay. Sad face. It's okay, Nathan. Don't worry about it. However, my brother and I had a happy childhood. All right. So, yeah. Whenever they could, my parents took us to various bling, such as the zoo and the bird park. Sometimes we just went to the seaside for a swim or to the fast food restaurant for a special treat. Even though these outings were quite blank, my parents still had to save up for them. Places, all right. Okay, first things first, zoo and the bird park. Yes, these are places, so that is correct. Various places, all right. Okay, that is correct. Sometimes we went to the seaside for a swim. Okay, what might the next answer be? For some reasons, I cannot find my notes for the life of me. Why is that? I want to know why is that. Hmm, I am not happy with this. Okay, got it. Okay, bye, got to go. It's okay. I will see you in a bit. No worries. All right. Does anyone have any answers for the next question? Hmm. There we go. All right. So let's take a look. Okay, whenever they could. Okay, even though these outings were quite. Hi, Nani. Welcome back to our live. Right, I just ended school. Ooh, how was school? Was it fun? Are you in PSLE or what do you call that? O level. I've been saying O level so much, but suddenly when people talk about O level, I'm like, huh? What is the word? Great. That is great. Then I'm assuming you are in primary five. I feel like all the primary five students, when I ask you guys, how was school? And you guys are like, great. And the moment you guys say school is not great, I'm like, you guys are primary six, right? It's like a telltale sign at this point. It's a telltale sign. All right, now let's take a look. Okay, whenever they could, my parents took us to various places such as the zoo and bird park. Sometimes we went to see the seaside for a swim. We went to the seaside for a swim, or to the fast food restaurant for a special treat. Even though these outings were quite blank, my parents still had to save up for them. All right, now the idea that they had to save up for them suggests that these places were expensive, right? However, over here, what we're doing is that we're using a word that suggests contrast, which is even though, a phrase, right? So this is a sense of provides a sense of contrast. All right, now contrast does show us that since it's not expensive, what is the opposite of expensive? What is the opposite of expensive? These outings were quite okay. Remember that when you're writing compre, please remember to be compre close, sorry. Please remember to be as formal as you can. Alright? So I know a lot of students will put in the word cheap, alright, but cheap is not as formal in this case, so we are gonna go with the word affordable. Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys with question 5 for a while. Okay, you guys can let me know if you guys have any answers. All right. So, I don't see any answers yet. But all right, let's go through this. All right. That did not stop them from wanting to give me and my brother blank a good time. All right. We were fortunate to be blank to go out and play. To my parents, the sacrifice was blank when they saw the smiles on our faces. All right. All right. So my brother and I. All right. Brother and I, a good time. Okay. Check. Yeah, my brother and I, a good time. All right. We were fortunate enough to be blank, go out and play, to be able, go out and play. So able is the word to use to express the idea of opportunity. To my parents, the sacrifice, was blank it when they saw the smiles on our faces. All right. So when you're talking about sacrifice, all right, something the idea is worth it. Okay. So we're talking about how something is justified. So the sacrifice was justified, right? Yep, that is the main word that we are going with, right? And then we also have this question, okay? At home, my brother and I entertained blank with simple games, right? So when you're talking about entertaining, okay, you entertain who? Entertain ourselves, right? Because you're talking about my brother and I, right? Okay, also the hint over here is that we played. Okay, so it is the two of them. Okay, so we played with my grandmother's discarded pots and pans and blank we were superheroes. So are they actually superheroes? Okay, and then another hint is the word imitating, right? Imitating the stunts we saw on television and pretended. Okay, we played with my grandmother's discarded pots and pans and pretended we were superheroes, all right? Imitating the stunts we saw on television with occasional disastrous results. We sustained bruises, sprains, and fractures, okay? Which blank us into trouble with our parents. All right? So, what might the answer be? Okay, what might the answer be? What might the answer be? What might the answer be? All right, please let me know if you guys have any answers. Okay, got, right? Which got us into trouble. That is correct. Okay, got is the correct word. We're talking about got us. Oh, what happened? Us into trouble. Great job. All right, they dragged us to the doctor to get these problems. Problems what? Right now, you're talking about fractures, bruises, and sprains. Right. So these are the kind of problems that they're talking about. So what is it? Thank you so much for the likes, SK. Right. These problems blinked. Right. The answer is problems fixed. All right. Because you cannot be problem solved, because solved is more for puzzles. All right. Not physical injuries. All right, next page. All right. When my parents were at work, my grandmother prepared meals for us. She would cook for us and tuck us blank bed. Whenever I was tired playing my brother, I would blank her in the kitchen. All right. Okay, what might the answer be? What might the answer be? Okay. I don't see any answers. I feel like everyone must be like super tired today. Everyone's kind of like, today. All right, it's okay. When my parents at work, my grandmother prepared milk for us, would tuck us into bed. Okay. Oh, my handwriting. Tuck us into bed. Right, this is the word. Okay, because when you don't tuck someone on bed, you tuck someone into bed. Whenever I was tired of playing, okay, now for these kind of words, fill in the blanks, I would say a lot of practice and a lot of intentional reading would help, because it does help you to really understand, what words go better together, what words are not supposed to go together. All right. Sorry, can you help me get a bottle of water? I forgot to take water in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot to take water. Moderator is helping. All right. Okay, I would blank her in the kitchen. Okay, whenever I was tired of playing my brother, I would blank her in the kitchen. First, I was only allowed to wash the vegetables and dishes. All right. So what are these actions? All right. These words are help. She is helping. All right. She is assisting with problems. All right. Help her in the kitchen, because my grandmother felt that I was too blank to do anything by myself. Right. So she started with this, to do anything by myself. By the time I was older, so we can see that age is the problem. I was too blank. I was too young, right, to do anything by myself. By the time I was older, I could cut the meat and fish under her blank, under her blank, under her supervision. Okay. Okay, under her supervision. Thank you. Under her supervision. What you're talking about? Under. She stood beside me. This is the hint. And make sure I did not cut myself. This was the beginning of my love for cooking. All right. Then the next one, okay, let's do another one. Should children and adults be playing video games? There are two opposing schools of thought. All right, this is another question. All right, do let me know if you guys know the answers. All right, do let me know. All right. Do you let me know? Oh, hi, Miffy. Hi, Miffy. How are you? How are you today? How are you? Miffy, I forgot. Which grade are you in right now? Are you in PSLE? Are you in PSLE? Hmm? One girl? Which girl? Girl? So confused. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. All right. Okay. Does anyone know what the next answer is? All right. Should children and adults be playing video games? How many of you guys play video games? All right. I always ask you guys this question. It's so interesting to hear what video games you guys play. What video games do you guys play? Okay. Um okay, let's see. There are two opposing schools of thought. The first believes that contrary suggests that it is unlike, okay, or even uh opposite. Okay, opposite to what maybe the popular beliefs are, all right? And then you also have, okay, contrary, okay, the traditional belief that gaming has some blank, okay, contrary to this is common phrasing, contrary to is common phrasing. Please remember this, all right? There is actually like a rough list when you guys are not a list, there are some common phrasings that often do come up, and I think mainly for students who do a lot of practice, you will slowly be able to see these what do you call that, uh common common phrases. My brain is very very tired today because of the heat. The heat is making me kind of okay. You let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay, let me see. Is there any other answers? No. All right. Has some gaming has some benefits. Okay, because we're talking about gaming is merely an addictive source of entertainment. So if we are talking about something that is contrary to that, it would be that gaming is beneficial. Okay, so it is not merely an addictive source of entertainment. All right, it aids the development. All right, so this is also an extra hint of cognitive skills in both children and adults. Just blank physical exercise helps on improving cognitive games help to indulge one's blank. Okay, so the main thing over here we are talking about Just like, okay? Just like draws a comparison. Okay, just like physical exercise helps on improving and strengthening muscles, cognitive games help to indulge one's blank. Okay, indulge one's mind. Okay, because we're talking about physical exercise helps muscles. Okay, so it helps the physical body. So if physical exercise helps physical body, the cognitive games would help the mind. Okay, some students also put down brain, but brain is more physical, so we want something that really does highlight the idea that there is a mental simulation, which is the word mind. All right, thus improving its performance. All right, it is argued that video games can help improve coordination. All right, okay, don't know if that's true, because for me, I feel like my coordination gets worse with too much gaming. I don't know if anyone feels the same way. I used to game religiously in high school. I gamed religiously in high school. I would game every single night, play Minecraft, and my coordination felt like it was getting worse. So I don't know about the rest of you. But I do know that quite a lot of you play Minecraft. I just don't know if you guys were like um actual gamers play with the PC, or you were just like me, little fake gamers. I don't know, I felt like a fake gamer. I was using my mobile phone and I was squinting my eyes like this. And every single time I finished gaming, I would get super dry eyes. Alright, so okay, so let's talk about video games to improve coordination. Playing a game, we are not staring at a computer inactively. Okay, so we are talking about specific timings when you are playing the game. So the answer is when. Okay, when indicates an idea of time. We are not staring at the computer inactively. Okay, activities and action on the screen provide a lot of mental stimulation. Blank, top of that, video games can also improve problem solving skills. Okay, blank on top of that. What might the answer be? On top of that, common phrasing, on top of that. Video games can also improve problem solving skills. As they involve certain roles, the player has to think carefully. Okay, think carefully before, okay, before sets the condition or timing, before making any move, okay, to ensure that they stay within the required rules of the particular game. When faced with a choice, the player needs to make a split-second blank that will determine whether he or she would advance to the next level. Okay, the idea of a choice. What is usually, how do you choose a choice? All right, how do you? What is the word called? I feel like I'm just dancing around the word. Split-second decision. All right. Chill Gil is here. Hi, Chill Gil. How are you today? How are you today? Is today a good day for you? Is today a good day for you? How are you today? I feel like everyone is so tired today. Everyone is just so I wouldn't say moody. Everyone is so lethargic today. No one is really answering. Everyone's just like flowing in and out of the chat. But it's okay. Today is a what day? Today is a Tuesday. Never mind. You guys still have to wait. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 more days to the weekend. It's okay. You guys got this. All right. Okay. On the other hand, there are others who believe that there are blank more harm than there are benefits in playing video games. That there is, okay, more harm. Okay, harm is a singular term. It agrees with this word. More harm than there are benefits in playing video games. All right. We can get addicted to. Gaming, okay? We can get addicted to gaming. Playing video games for many hours can affect our performance in school. Studies have shown that a higher amount of time blank on playing on-screen games can be associated with lower academic performance. All right? And a higher amount of time spent on. Okay? You're spending certain time. Okay? Talking about how you use time. Can be associated with lower academic performance. All right? Lower academic performance. Okay, why don't you just zoom out and let you guys see all the questions again? Yo, do we have any more? Oh, there are more questions. Okay, you guys take a look at this page first. Let me know if you guys have any questions, all right? I do want to make sure that all of you guys know exactly what we're doing, working with. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay. Now, let's move on. Excessive gaming can have an adverse impact on our health as we spend more time playing virtual games rather than exercising. This practice increases the blank of childhood obesity. All right. So what we're talking about here is childhood obesity as a whole. Okay. The risk. Okay. Usually when we're talking about this, we're talking about the risk of childhood obesity. Okay. It is a very common term to use in term for okay. Sometimes children also blank meals to play games you're addicted to. Okay. Children also skip meals to play games you're addicted to so that they are prioritizing these games, right? Constant glare off the screen can also harm the child's eyesight. This is it is also important to pick the right game as not blank of them provide the same cognitive benefits, right? Not all of them, right? Because over here, not all is a common structure. Okay, you can use the word each. Not each doesn't work, alright? Not every of them doesn't fit the structure. Not all of. What happened? Not all of them, alright? Blank should also be a factor. Okay, therefore young children should not be exposed to violent games, alright? So we can do this over here. So the idea of young children, so we can understand that it is age, alright? age should be a factor. Therefore, young children should not be exposed to violent games. Thus, though computer games might be beneficial, there is a need to play them in moderation. Alright, so very, very important. Alright, now let's move on. Okay, before we move on, I do want to highlight this. Alright, so now for those that just came into our live, welcome. Alright, we are going through some questions, comprehension closed questions. Alright, now do take a look at this. Alright, this is the targeted practice that we have been talking about. Okay, in terms of targeted practice, I would always recommend for students to work directly on things that they are they're not so strong in. But definitely, I'm not saying for you to just drop past papers. That's definitely not the case. Okay, on top of your past papers, it is important for students to work on targeted practice. All right, so maybe let's say I'm always doing past papers, but my results are always pulled down by comprehension close. All right, and that is the case for some students. All right, that is completely fine. All right, but definitely it is something to work on. In this case, we are offering this 1000 PSLE comprehension close questions. All right. Of course, we have a lot of different targeted practices that we have pulled out. So parents don't have to spend time pulling out the questions that are hardest and most competitive, okay, because we've already done that for you. This is a popular tested PSLE questions consolidation, okay, and it is full of popular top school questions. So all the questions that parents, you are asking your kids to do, we are pulling out the most popular ones. All right, we are identifying how popular these questions are based on our experience. Okay, Writers at Work, we have been here since 2012. All right, we have that experience, so we're definitely trying to make sure that students who are with us are definitely very, very well associated with these kind of popular questions, so that they are definitely able to answer them in school. Okay, so in this case, we have put together this book. Okay, popular tested PSLE questions. Okay, if parents, you have any questions, feel free to let us know in the WhatsApp number above, 8404-9281. Okay, or let us know in the comment section here. Okay, but for now, over here you can take a look. Okay, this is one of the books that we have on sale. It is the ebook, so you can make this purchase, print it out, or you can use it online depending on what your child prefers. All right, different children have different preferences. All right, we have a lot of others. Okay, I'll show you. This is the Synthesis and Transformation book. It is 1000 questions. All right, it's a master popular test of PSLE questions booklet. Okay, and it is all top school questions and based on the popularity of certain questions, what questions are more likely to come out. All right, so yeah, definitely for questions that are more likely to come out, we would love for students to put a bit more emphasis, so that it is essentially a more they are more likely to do well in the exam. They are more likely to be able to ace the questions that come out. Right, other than this, we also have vocab questions. Okay, this is for the PSLE, but of course, parents or students who are watching this, okay, we have O-level questions as well. So if you are interested, we are happy to offer them to you. All right, yeah, you can find all of this on our ebook store. Okay, do let us know if you have any questions. All right, okay, we also have 1.2 thousand PSLE grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, popular test of PSLE questions. Okay, and these include answer keys, of course. Right. Okay, for those who feel like they're a bit weaker in oral and composition, we have ebooks as well. Right, do let us know. Okay, I'm gonna just go through all the ebooks that we have really quickly in the last 3 minutes. We'll be stopping the live for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll be starting again. Okay, from 4 to 5:30. All right. Okay. Okay, grammar and vocab questions. You can take a look. Okay, so we have a lot of questions, and for students who actually have been in my life for quite a bit, you will notice that I actually do go through these questions a lot with you guys. So a lot of these students, you guys have a bit of an understanding of, what the questions are going to be like. So definitely, if you are looking for a bit of insight about what the questions might be like, feel free to stay in our live and I'll be happy to go through them with you. Okay. But yeah, definitely do let us know if you have any questions and we will be happy to help. Okay. Other than that, I will show you guys how to do how to navigate to our ebook section in a bit, uh, in the next live, of course. All right, but right now, what you guys can do, if you guys are interested, really quickly, you can always just search up in our website, Writers at Work ebook store, and it should pop up. Okay, that's three options. All right, the QR code I showed you guys just now, searching it up yourself, and also navigating via the TikTok. Okay, so you guys can always go to our TikTok profile. Okay, you can click our profile there and it shall take you there. All right, but I will show you guys later. For those who are struggling with navigating there, I'll be happy to show you guys in a bit. All right, yep, so definitely just stay with us. I'll be happy to show you guys. All right, we are almost at the end of our live. All right, feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, I will be holding the live again from 2 to 5:30, to 2 to 5:30. All right, so definitely do let me know. Okay, and currently we also have regular classes that are ongoing. So if you are interested, feel free to sign up and join. All right, yeah, that's about it. Ozil, I was just about to end the live. Okay, come back at 2 more minutes. I'll rejoin the live at 2 again. We have to reset the live. But hi, Ozil. I will see you in 2 minutes. All right. No, I have to go. I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right. We have to reset.